Yeah, wonderful. Good evening, dear LinkedIners, dear LinkedIn viewers, LinkedIn Live participants. I'm live today, and my guest today is Lila Smith from Dallas, the United States. Hi, Lila. How are you doing?
Ilkay Uskazolu. I am so happy to be with you. I practiced saying your name because I love the musicality of it. It sounds like a song.
All right. So it appears to me that you have a musical background.
I do musical theater. So I spent a lot of time singing and also doing Shakespeare and some other plays. And that was my background. I did theater, and in learning how to express myself on stage through a character, I learned a lot of tools that now are part of my work as a communication coach.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, Lila, I would ask you to introduce you formally yourself. I know you are very well known in the United States, but my European community, German-speaking community, would like to know more about you. But before we do that, let me greet also our community. So we are in a LinkedIn Live format right now, and as you know by now, I love this LinkedIn Live format because we can interact on real time. So this live is nothing without you guys viewing, watching us. Therefore, please, right now, from where you are tuning in, and because it's a LinkedIn Live format, and we have sometimes shaky broad broadcasts or bandwidth here, please write in the comments whether you can hear us and see us in a clear way. And please now, Lila, introduce yourself for those that don't know you so far.
Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you to everyone who is tuning in and watching this. Ilkay and I are going to go over some of my tips for increasing the efficacy of engagement on LinkedIn. So not just getting greater numbers of viewers on your posts, but more meaningful relationships and connections as a result, and therefore more meaningful results in your life and business. I myself started on LinkedIn. Well, I've had a LinkedIn account since 2011, but it wasn't until 2017 when I really started getting active on this platform. At the time that I got active, I was still working in my old job as director of e-commerce at a footwear company in New York City. And during the evenings and on weekends, I was performing as an actress in New York City theater. So both of those parts of my life are still very much a part of who I am, but my work now is different. So now what I'm doing is taking all of the tools that I learned as a storyteller and communicator in theater, and I teach those to my clients so that they can be more fully expressive and organized in their communication, helping them to build better relationships with others as well.
Wonderful introduction, Lila. So before we go into the frameworks that you have prepared for today, I would like to ask you, what was the incident that brought you to be active on LinkedIn and apply these frameworks on LinkedIn?
The incident was a birthday. I had
Oh,
a
really?
birthday coming up. Yeah, it was, my birthday is July 1st, the 1st of July. And on the 1st of June in 2017, I made a commitment to myself that leading up to my birthday, I would give myself the gift of change. And I decided to do something different every single day for the 30 days leading up to my birthday. One thing would be different. And I asked my community on Facebook, which really, Facebook at the time was becoming this place where it was less about connection and more about argument, less about growth and value and more about just controversy or trash. And I was getting really burned out on it. But I
Oh, really?
asked my friends there if they had any advice. What do you think I could do differently every day for the next 30 days that would make a meaningful difference in my life before my birthday? And people chimed in with all kinds of incredible ideas, and I chose two. So the first is that every single morning I committed to giving thanks, saying something that I'm grateful for out loud. And it's the first thing I do. It's the first thing I feel and the first sound I hear every day. I, with my eyes still closed, put my hand over my heart, feel the resonance of my voice. If you're doing this at home, hum and just feel that in your chest. Physically feeling my voice as I give thanks for something every morning. Today I give thanks for this community and all of the ways in which you've supported me. The second thing that I did every single day in June of 2017, and then for the following 1,000 consecutive days, was to come on LinkedIn before I would allow myself to go onto Facebook, which now I barely touch. But every single day I would go onto LinkedIn for 15 minutes. And that was the goal. And I was just going to see what happened after 30 days of this. And what happened is that my entire life changed. So I'm glad I did it.
Wonderful, wonderful. This reminds me actually to my incident. My incident was during the last week of 2018. So that is between Christmas and New Year's Sylvester, let's say, the New Year's party. I had a New Year's resolution, made up my mind that I will go all in on LinkedIn. So I started. It's not the 1st of January, but on the 7th of January, I started with going all in on LinkedIn, and that included for me video. Did video include has video also played a major role for you?
Video has been a tremendous part of my LinkedIn experience, though it didn't start until later in 2017. I was one of the first users of LinkedIn Video when they first released it in beta. And it definitely gave me the opportunity to connect with people in a different way. And actually, it really scared me at first, and it continues to scare me. As a theater actress, there's something I'm comfortable with about being live and in the moment. But as soon as I'm recorded, I'm like, oh no, and I start stressing about, oh, my hair is fuzzy over here, or I like look shiny, or there's a sound in the background, and all kinds of things. So it scared me for a while, and I had the feature on my LinkedIn account and didn't use it for a couple of months because I had to get over that. I had to get over the fear of what I thought might happen if people saw me, judged me, and it just never happened. People don't do that. They don't watch you to judge you. They watch you to learn something. They watch you to support you. And nobody cares about the things that you're worried about. I promise you, at least nobody who's worth talking to.
Yeah, it is. I had Jana Martens from Australia just last week here. She's a photo model also and a photographer. And she said it is not actually the fear of this device you are talking to. It's just the lack of feedback from that device to you. But you brought up an interesting aspect, and that is the recording aspect. So was it for you not actually the lack of feedback, but the mere presence of recording that made you fear?
For me, it is the permanence of the record. It is the ability other people will have to go back in time, look at my face frozen like this, and how embarrassing for me that would be. But even if they did, if my face was frozen in an ugly expression, but what I'm saying is of value, that's really still what people are going to take away. So that's what I try to focus on, is making sure that the words I give people have value, so that it's not that they're so bored that they're looking at whatever face I'm making.
Okay, so let's dive into your engagement framework that you prepared for us, Lila. And
if you want to pull up my LinkedIn profile, we can share just examples from my own work.
Absolutely, yes.
We'll start with comment strategy, because a lot of people know me for the quality of the comments that I make.
Yeah. So I have to view. I have to look now on the other side. Yeah. Not into the lens.
Yes. If you scroll down, you'll see all activity.
Yeah.
And you just click on the first comment that you see, whatever that is.
So this one
here. So this is whatever that is. That comment. Let's pull it up and look at it. You can hit. There you go. So looking at this comment, what you can see is my comment strategy in action. My comment strategy I use in order to really develop relationships with the people who have created comments or created posts. Those people are the point. It's not an opportunity for me to grandstand or show everything I know. It's about relationships and tying the knots in my net tighter by investing in these micro moments, these conversations that happen in the comments. So my comment strategy is first to acknowledge what the person who has posted has shared. This person shared a very simple and engaging explanation of regulatory affairs, which is a very complicated field within pharmaceuticals, within that industry. All of the inserts that go into your packages for your prescription medications come from regulatory affairs. So to explain everything that goes into that is very overwhelming. And I thought that the poster of this video, I think his name is Ranjit. So he really broke it down in a very easy to understand manner. I watched the video, I'm acknowledging what I appreciated about it, and I'm also acknowledging him. Even in his title, if you don't go to his entire bio and look at his profile, you can see that it says musician and storyteller after regulatory affairs professional. So I included that. If it was important enough to him to include in his headline, it's important enough to me to acknowledge in my response. So I said, I bet your background with the arts and storytelling and music really helps you here. And then I answered the question that he had in his video. That's where I expand. So once you've acknowledged what value you've gotten from what you've watched or read, then you expand with your own context. My context is what my business does or what I help people to do, which is to say things better, to communicate in a way that feels clear and confident. And then I invite. That's the third step. So we acknowledge, expand, and then invite. Invite is an opportunity for me to pull somebody who is relevant from my network and bring them over to this party. I invite them to the party. So in this case, I tagged in Kellen Barfield, who's the CEO of Source Explorer. And I also tagged in her company page so that both she and her company would have the opportunity to engage. What they do is provide a platform for people within the pharmaceutical industry and other life science companies to find resources and suppliers and funny emails and great social media posts so that they can grow in their own professional careers as well. So certainly a connection between Kellen Barfield and this gentleman who posted would be a beneficial connection for the two of them. She and her organization might find value in what he has said, and he actually might find value in what services she and Source Explorer provide as well. So I'm including them here by inviting them into the post, and that's the comment strategy.
So I see you did this just short before our live. Is that right? 37 minutes ago?
That's right.
So just shortly before we went live. So that's also the reason why probably Ranjit has not yet seen it. There seems to be no comment from his side yet, but it's because...
Well, let's see. Who liked it? It looks like someone liked it. Was it you?
Someone liked it. Have a look who that is. It was himself. Okay. So Ranjit saw it.
Yes. So he saw it, and I don't know what came next of it, but what has happened is that even if Ranjit and Kellen don't see this comment at all, other people will see it. And what they will learn is that I am an engaged person.
Absolutely.
They will learn about me and the quality of relationships that I build. So even if the comment, that I bring somebody into never gets seen by the people I mean it to, someone is seeing it. Yes. If you imagine what your behavior is when people aren't looking, and you act as though people will be looking, then you have the right attitude about being on social media, because someone is always watching, even if it's not who you think.
Yeah, absolutely. The quiet ones are watching and reading, and suddenly someone reacts who you never had on your radar because it resonated with them. Yeah. And
that's right.
And also, it's now daytime and everyone is working, so Ranjit may be answering to you later in the evening.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah. He might actually be working at his job.
Okay, Lila, before we move on to your next strategy, let me ask you a very popular question, and that is around your profile. Let me go back to your profile.
Okay.
Do you have one or two tips for our audience what not to neglect on your profile? I'm seeing here you have a word cloud, for example, a very sympathetic profile photo. Of course, you got an underline here. What is the trick here for you?
I go top to bottom.
Yeah.
Left to right, or some people, if your natural reading style is right to left, that's fine too. And just ask yourself, if the perfect person to give me some opportunity accidentally came across my profile, does this square inch of space, or in your case, I don't know, centimeters, do these 7 centimeters square of space really give them every opportunity they have to know why they should keep reading?
Okay.
So just scan it and ask yourself, am I making the most of this moment? Because every part of your profile is a communication moment.
Yeah, wow, this is a really a great tip. So you would say, now I have found really the most significant space of your profile, and this is this square. You would confirm that?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. That's great. So now we have clarified this. Let's move on to your next strategy. That is the account-based content strategy, right?
Yes. So actually, if you scroll down, you can use my profile again. If you scroll down to activity and then find posts, you will see a recent post that I made, which I think was just a share of something.
Okay.
So yeah, so people are afraid to share things because they don't get as many views on LinkedIn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And that's true. But if the only point of producing content is to get views, then you're missing out on the other part of posting, which is really still about relationships. If you're noticing a theme, it's that the people are really what's most important. It's not the thing you have to say. It's not the number of views. It's the quality and depth of the connections that you create and invest in. So account-based content strategy is picking one person, that same one person who would be the ideal person to view your profile, and then eventually take an action that you're clear on, and invest your content in what service you can provide to them. In this case, I appeared on a show with Rollis. This was yesterday, and Joe Bateman shared a post about it. And I wanted to support that effort. I actually want to work with Rollis directly. And so working with him would mean investing in my relationship with him. So if nobody else sees it, but Rollis knows I'm supporting him and that I believe in our connection, that is enough. One person.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And beyond the account-based content strategy, which is, creating for this one person, you don't always get an opportunity to share something someone else posted, right? That's kind of too easy. But what if I want to reach more people like him? I say, what value can I provide? I want to help people who have been keeping parts of themselves back, hidden, not opening up, not sharing everything that they have and everything that they are, because they're afraid that they will be embarrassed or ashamed in some way, or that people will find out who they really are and won't take them seriously. I was that person. I used to hide my theater background when I worked in e-commerce and came onto LinkedIn in early, or mid 2017. And I never talked about being in theater because I didn't think people would take me seriously. But when I started opening up about it and I started sharing what I knew in e-commerce, in marketing, because of theater, that's when my entire life changed.
Oh, really? Okay.
For the better, for the magnificent. So I really want to help other people with the same thing. So in this case, I am sharing this post to draw attention to another piece of content, which is our live show. Mm-hmm. If I'm showing somebody a link to this show with you, I'm doing it because I want to show them that I understand content and engagement strategy on LinkedIn, and I'd like to be hired for this. So I might provide a link to this post to those people. If I want to get hired as a communication coach, I will provide to them a link to my live show with Rawlis.
So let's
who that person is and making that post or making that experience to deepen your relationship with that person.
Yeah, fully understood. Wonderful, wonderful. So you brought me up to a new idea. I got this magical triangle, I call it, where I'm saying once you are posting on LinkedIn, you should be intentionally posting, either for views, visibility, or for your personal branding. And on the other side of the triangle was for me sales. But now you open this a bit more up and you say intentional relationships. Yeah, I could call that also relationship management - sales, for instance.
Yes, it's still under sales, right? I mean, sales is not a dirty word, because selling something you believe in, and I believe in Say Things Better. I believe in my communication coaching and workshops. Because I believe in them so much, sales is the same as sharing. Sales is the same as helping. Sales is the same as giving people an opportunity to improve things in their life. And so what better way to improve a relationship?
Okay, so just just say hello to Lucas Ezequiel Reba. Hi there, he says, glad to be here. Thanks, Lucas, for joining us today. And we have a LinkedIn user saying, hi, Lila and Ilkay, great show. Other than that, there are no more comments right now. So therefore, we will jump directly into the third one, which is your distribution strategy. Do we need your profile again? Okay, so
we can, but actually I think it's fine if we just talk about it. Or you know what, if you scroll through my posts, you can find, I don't know, what was the last thing that I posted before this?
You went live as well,
I can tell you that anything that I post also has, perfect. So here I did a live show. A live show is the same as a post, you know, after the fact. Not everybody's going to watch the full hour, but having the post allows you to open a conversation. So here I have something noteworthy. I spoke with Ramel, who's from Microsoft, a big organization, and he has a major job there. We launched this big program that Microsoft is doing with the state of Texas, where I live in the United States. And so there's some really good, rich information here. So my distribution strategy for this is not just about getting eyes on this post or this moment while it's happening. It's what happens next. I can take a link to this post by going to the 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner of the post itself by the text, and then hitting copy link. Yep, like right by the 3 dots, you can go to get the link to the post. Once you have this link, the next steps are up to you. So you can cross-promote this on other platforms. You can use a custom link shortener like Bitly. If you go to bit.ly, they have a platform that allows you to shorten links and then edit the back end of them so that it's something custom and branded and easy and clear to understand. I use this for promoting all of my events as well. But here, I'll take this post and I will distribute this on other platforms, maybe on Instagram. I'll say, hey, I talked with at Ramel Mitchell or at Really Ramel, which is his Instagram handle, from at Microsoft or at Microsoft USA. And we talked about how they're launching this incredible program to increase equity and diversity in tech. And so that would be the Instagram story. If you want to see the whole episode, go to this Bitly link. It's not that everybody's going to go to the link, but it gives you something to talk about. And it tells people on another platform why they should follow you on this one. So I'm deepening those relationships by bringing them into other areas. If they're on Instagram, I bring them over to LinkedIn, and vice versa. Twitter, you can find me at Lila Lasagna or at Say Things Better on all of those platforms. You can also take a link to your post and put it in your email marketing.
Yeah, I will make a comment as a LinkedIn purist within a minute, but let me check. There's a comment here from Marian. Let me show that. Although one has a certain kind of aversion towards people constantly selling, you can do that neatly and elegantly on LinkedIn by building content. Absolutely correct. Yes.
Yes, Marianne.
Thank you so much, Marianne. So, Lila,
I think she has a good point that content is a great way to sell without being overt. But also, when you have a post that speaks to an incident that somebody might have experienced in their daily life, in their job, and you use that post in distribution, taking a link to the post and messaging it directly to a person who might be in the position to have that moment you talked about in your content, then you are opening a sales conversation. Even if the sale doesn't happen for months or even years, it's still a sales conversation, and you open it by providing value that is relevant to that person. That's the most important thing that I do with my distribution strategy, is including my content links in direct messages to people who will find that content relevant and valuable. So on that live show that I did with Ramel Mitchell, I would take that link and I would send it to people in Texas in technology. I would send it to people in education who have access to the youth who would benefit from this. And I would send it to job seekers and people in transition who live in Texas and are looking for new ways to learn new skills without having to spend a ton of money on it. Because this post is all about how Microsoft and the state of Texas have partnered up to make these things accessible to people. So it's just adding value. It's just providing things to people in a context that is relevant to them. And that's my distribution strategy. Put it on other platforms, put it in your emails, put it in your messages.
Very efficient approach. So how much time do you spend on this? My community is asking me all the time, Ilkay, are you 24 hours, 7 days a week on LinkedIn? And I'm saying, no, I'm not.
Like you are, right?
It appears though. But how about
you? 20 to 30 minutes this morning on LinkedIn, plus this half an hour or so far with you. And then I'll probably be back on for another 15 minutes later. So today is a lot, but some days it's really only 20 minutes or so. The key is to really be targeted in my efforts. It means I can't get back to every message. It means that sometimes I'll respond with one word to things. Yes, and you've seen this from me as well.
Yes, thank you.
But as long as people know that I am reachable when it comes to time to work, and I'm taking care of my clients, and I'm taking care of the people who are closest to me in my personal life, that's really where my priorities are. Everybody else can either see the content, engage with me through comments or over time, and have short messages. If people want more access or more time with me, they can come and watch me on your show, and they can come to my workshops, and they can read my comments and my content so that they'll get more exposure to me. But I don't do a lot of long back and forth conversations in the messages. It's about efficiency and being targeted. I will do some. So if I have had a direct conversation with you in the DMs, it's probably because I found you very interesting. I thought I could learn from you. I think you could learn from me. And this is a really highly relevant connection. Also, sometimes things just get lost in LinkedIn messages, although the message format has improved greatly in the last month or so. And I'm very grateful to LinkedIn for the improvements they've made.
So we got 3 more coming in right now. So we got Long Nguyen. Sure. Your network is broad, Ilkay. He says, yes, you see, I got Dallas in today. Last week, we were in Melbourne, Australia. I had a 20,000 miles distance, and today to Dallas, I guess it's about 10 to 11,000 miles we are apart. But it's like I sit just opposite you, Lila, right now, and we have a chat.
Look, I could do this. You can touch my hand, right?
Yeah, give me 5.
We did it.
Yes. So
we're far away, but we're very close. I love that we live in a time when technology makes it possible for us to connect across the globe.
And with StreamYard anyway, it's also easy to use, as we said before.
They're a great partner.
And then we have Tobias Leisgang like the comment that the real sale can happen months, years later, but it's still a sales conversation. Absolutely correct. Yeah. And
Tobias calling that out. Oh, thank you. And thank you for enjoying my presence from Dallas. What I like about that he noticed that about the sales conversation is that we are often on our best behavior when we think we're making a sale, right? We're just more intentional about being present, about listening, and about providing value when we think there is the possibility of a sale. But those are the same stakes that we should be applying to every relationship and every conversation. If we're really who we say we are, then we show up as that person. When I say a sales conversation, it's just make it high stakes. Make it feel like there's a reason for you being there. And I don't mean make it feel like that to them. Make it feel like that to yourself.
Dirk says physical distance doesn't matter on LinkedIn. Absolutely correct. Yes, you see.
Totally agree. Where is Dirk right now?
Dirk is from Germany, North Rhine-Westphalia, and he works for the second largest telecommunication company, let's say, without making some advertising.
Wow.
Here. Yeah. Wonderful.
Why not? They can sponsor your episodes, can't they?
I tell you what. Have you ever checked with one of your friends' smartphone your posts? I'm doing that regularly, and I'm checking deliberately what is below my post, i.e. the advertising, the sponsored content. And
that's very interesting. No, I've never looked at that.
Yeah, just do that. The telecommunication companies in Germany.
Let me look at yours. I'm your friend. I'm going to look at your post right now.
Yeah, that may be different in US, but in Germany, it's the two big telecommunication companies. They are placing their advertising below my post, and I don't know why.
I see something called from Behavioral Healthcare Executive promoted to me, and it's a slider, and it shows me different SMEs, subject matter experts.
Yeah, it's an advertising. Is that sponsored content? Yeah. Okay.
It's promoted. Cool. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
This is interesting, actually.
Yeah, it's interesting because I have a lot of friends that are in the psychology, in the physical therapy industry, and they're also my clients. So it looks like there is a way
that works.
It's a link there. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so we got
and actually, I'm so interested in this event that they've promoted that I put it aside to look at it again after this episode. So listen, it works, right? When LinkedIn messaging, when LinkedIn ads are really promoted and targeted effectively, they can absolutely engage the right people, or at least the people who know the right people. If I don't attend this event myself, I'm still probably going to share it with someone.
So saved it for later to check it out. Very good. Very good. Okay, thank you so much, Lila, for the framework that you shared with us. This is really gracious of yourself. Now, Lila, I have a final question before we conclude this session. Okay. So how about the LinkedIn locals in the United States? You have to know that I'm promoting LinkedIn locals in the German-speaking countries, Germany, Austria, and Switzerland heavily. And I'm asking always the hosts, give me a speaker slot of 20 minutes. And I'm ending normally up with 90 minutes spoken about LinkedIn. So how is LinkedIn locals in the US at this time, during these unprecedented times, let's say?
We're not doing them. We're not doing them in person. Most people are not hosting most of their events live and in person. But there have been incredible virtual events from all over the United States that I wouldn't have had the chance to attend in person easily. I would have had to take a plane.
Yeah,
and in fact, some people have done that, and I've done that. I've flown to actually all different parts of the world.
Really? Okay.
And spoken at LinkedIn Locals. Yeah. But right now it's all virtual, and the benefit is that we get to be together from all over the world, that local just means something different now.
Yeah, we did a LinkedIn local here in Germany just last week, LinkedIn local Stuttgart, South Germany. And we had, we were 3 people in a room. We called it Studio on stage. And then we streamed virtually the presentation and the discussions to 60 people in a LinkedIn event, LinkedIn Live format. So everything was LinkedIn. It's a LinkedIn local with a LinkedIn event with LinkedIn Live. How about that? Yeah, you
Fantastic.
like it?
Yeah,
have you heard about such a format before?
No, of course this is originating with you. It must be.
Yeah, I said I'm proclaiming here. I'm the first one who did this LinkedIn local in a LinkedIn event with a LinkedIn Live.
My first LinkedIn Live was with my friend Tabitha, and my first LinkedIn Live streamed event, Kyle Burt, who also has LinkedIn Live from the very beginning, helped me set it up so that we live streamed a presentation I was giving as part of this event that people from LinkedIn were in town for in Dallas. But it wasn't, our event was not a LinkedIn event. It was about recruiting and incorporating values into your recruitment strategy. So we were doing that event and we live streamed it, but it wasn't a LinkedIn event. I think you must be the first one.
I am the first one, I'm sure. I'm the first one in Europe for sure. I just wanted to check with you if I was the first one on this globe, on this nice planet.
I'm pretty sure you are. I'm sure I would have heard about it otherwise.
Okay, Tobias says he never heard about LinkedIn locals. Do you want to shortly explain him what LinkedIn locals are? Because you are actually full of credibility for a LinkedIn local because your best friend is Anna McAfee.
I love Anna McAfee. She's definitely one of my good friends. She's also been in my Say Things Better mastermind. I've worked with her professionally before. I'm learning from her about creating online communities at scale. She started something with the other 3 co-founders of the LinkedIn local movement, who are Manu Swish Goswami, who was just recently named to LinkedIn Top Voices.
Wow,
Eric
congratulations.
Sweden, and Alexandra Galvez, otherwise known as Authentic Alex, here on LinkedIn, who's in the UK, or she was when they started this. Actually, I think now she's close to where
Berlin.
you are.
I think she's in Berlin right now, yes.
Yes, so, but the 4 of them started this, and Anna McAfee made the first post. She said, hey, I'm in Coffs Harbour, Australia, and I'm getting together with a few people for coffee just to see who we all are behind these profiles, getting to know the people in person in our local areas. So who wants to come? And she did actually have people show up from that first post. She published this book of incredible stories that have come from the LinkedIn local movement that I highly recommend. Ilkay wrote a wonderful post, a testimony to the LinkedIn local experience when we launched this book that Anna wrote with Nicole Johnston. And it tells the story of how many people's lives were truly changed just as a result of getting together with the other human beings in their local communities in person. Something I really hope we can get back to again eventually.
Do you know what this is?
Looks like a package that you're going to send to me in the mail.
This one, I just checked the date, was sent to me by Amazon United States on the 21st of September. And it's a book. It's a book inside, and I haven't.
It must be the book.
Exactly, it's the book about LinkedIn Local, written by Anne McAfee, and I will have Anne on my LinkedIn Live show on the 8th of December, and this is the day when I will unpackage this.
I'm so excited! That's wonderful.
Because I understand she got her book also weeks later because of the pandemic.
Yes, right.
So I'm keeping it closed safely here. So Tobias, I don't know from which region you are. Just please write me down from where you're tuning in. We have several LinkedIn locals in Germany lined up, and we had them in the past, so they will come back again. but like in the United States, they are more in a virtual format at this time. Okay, so thank you so much. There's a final comment from my friend Dirk. He says, I'm a great innovator. Thank you
Yes,
so
you
much,
are.
dear,
You are. You're
dear
always
Dirk.
thinking, especially when it comes to different ways of connecting.
Yeah.
I think that you are one of the great innovators.
Yeah, I'm exploring LinkedIn in and out, you can say, Lila. I'm
I
trying
love
to.
that word, explore.
Yeah.
The word
Explore.
explore has come up now 4 times for me in the past 3 days.
Really?
So it's incredible that it has come up again.
Yes, it is some sort of magic inside LinkedIn that makes me explore it. Okay,
Yes.
Tobias says I'm from Bamberg. Okay, our area, I'm very close to Bamberg, is unfortunately still a white area, but I will invite you for a particular LinkedIn local in the upcoming future, in the next future. Wonderful. Okay, Lila, so let's recap this whole thing. So we talked about your communication strategy, your comment strategy, account-based content strategy, and the distribution strategy. That was a very enlightening and very inspiring framework, I have to say. It's very structured. Thank you so much that you have shared this with us. And be sure I will also test this, and try out whether this works also in the German-speaking countries. But why not? I see a lot of merits and benefits in this approach.
Let me know. I would love to know what your experience is within your culture.
I'll give you feedback on this because you may end up with a study later on, and write your dissertation on it.
Yes.
So let's feed you with some information. I would like to conclude this session with a call to action. What would be your one call to action to our community when it comes to LinkedIn and engagement?
My number one call to action for you is to know who you would really like to connect with. Get clear on that before you do anything.
That's wonderful.
Make a list, and I mean who exactly. Make a list of 10 companies or 10 people or 100 people, but know who they are and go deep. Invest into those connections.
Yes. Go deep and go deep with the relationship. Keep on giving value. A wonderful call to action. So a last one from Tobias. Thanks, Lila and Ilka. I need to step out. Yes, we are stepping out also. Anyway,
we are. Yes,
thank you
very
so much,
everyone.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Thank you so much, Lila, for being on my show, being my guest. I really always appreciate my guests from the United States. I had so many already here, very, very colorful bunch of people, and you really also enriched my shows. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are really welcome. So now my outro, and please just stay for a minute in the line. Bye-bye, everyone.